You're watching TelecomTV from the MEF annual members meeting in Boston. And I'm joined now by Anthony Perez, who is Director of Marketing IP Routing at Nokia, and Ralph Santitoro, who is Head of SDN at the NFV Solutions Practice at Fujitsu. Ralph and Anthony, thank you very much for joining us on TelecomTV.
Thank you for having us.
Anthony, if I could start with you. You've edited a new MEF white paper on carrier Ethernet and NFV. What was the objective of that white paper?
A key consideration when implementing NFV in the industry today relates to how NFV can enable service innovation and service velocity. As part of this Carrier Ethernet and NFV paper, we use CE 2.0 or Carrier Ethernet 2.0 as a foundational building block, and then look at how NFV or network function virtualization can be added to this CE 2.0 foundation to deliver new services in order to create new revenue as well as differentiation for service providers.
So, Ralph, what are some of the different types of delivery models for virtual network functions and services that are available to service providers today?
Okay, so what we've defined in the paper are three models. One is your centralized model, where you place your virtual network functions inside the carrier network in a central office or a data center. The other is the decentralized model, which is the opposite, where you place it on the customer premises in a virtual CPE device. And then there's the distributed model, where you can place some functions on the customer prem and some in the carrier's network.
So Anthony, is there a reason for taking these different approaches and having these different options?
I think one of the key considerations was there's a lot of confusion sometimes in terms of terminology when it comes to where do you virtualize and how you virtualize functions. And I think as part of this initiative, and a lot of great feedback we received during the paper's work was trying to come up with terms that were simple, easy to understand, so that you didn't have to spend too much time explaining what a term meant. And I think, as Ralph described, centralized, decentralized, distributed are fairly simple terms to understand. So that was definitely the intent.
So Ralph, as a conclusion from this, is there one particular implementation model that the MEF would recommend?
No, the paper was not meant to be prescriptive. The paper was really meant to give people choices to understand what the possibilities are, and then give them the business and operational considerations to think about whether they would deploy centralized, decentralized, or a combination thereof. And so by providing choices, it allows people to figure out what their business objectives are to determine which of those models works best for them.
And Anthony, are we seeing distinctive use cases yet, and will these remain the same over time, or will they change and evolve, you think?
I think if you look at the NFV market, 2016 is a very interesting year. I mean, NFV as a technology has been around for a few years now. And I think we've seen over the last few years several proof of concepts, lab evaluations that have been done. But I think 2016 is crucial because it's a year we're beginning to see live implementations of NFV, which is why I think a paper like this is timely and essential. It gives you very critical information. If you have a carrier Ethernet infrastructure and would like to know how you could leverage a technology like NFV to enhance the services you offer, this paper provides a lot of guidance in that area.
So Ralph, we're at another sort of critical junction. Even as an early development of NFV, we're still at that point now where the market is evolving and taking a step change.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, a lot of operators today are looking at the use cases and how to apply this. And as Anthony said in the outset of the session here, is really what are the use cases, what are the benefits they can achieve, and now it's at a point in the marketplace where now service providers are basically saying, I offer these types of services with physical network functions, and now I can look at offering them for using virtual network functions to get benefits, either faster, more agile service delivery. Maybe I save power and space. There's various benefits that they can achieve, but the technologies are mature enough now to be able to deploy that, although the standardization is still being worked out. And so what we wanted to do in the paper was really kind of say these are the possibilities as the details are worked out for multi-vendor integration and things like that.
Great. So the paper's there now. It's available for members, and non-members can look at the paper as well? Is it available on the website?
Yes, it's available on the external MEF site. It's a published document, and it should benefit everybody just to get a better insight on Carrier Ethernet and NFV.
Excellent. Well, Anthony and Ralph, thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you very much.